Good day, ladies and gentlemen, the panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and my distinguished audience. I am Oluwaseun Mohammed, and I'm here to speak on the roles of the media in the political dispensation of Nigeria. I begin my argument with a quote from Oscar Wilde, which says, "In America, the governor, the president reigns for 4 years, but the media governs forever." The same is true for Nigeria. Even if the president reigns for 8 years, once his tenure is over, he leaves the office, but the media remains the undisputed watchdog of the society. The media has often been described as the fourth echelon of the realm, and there is no better description for that. And that is because in any society, the executive have their roles, the legislative and the judiciary, they have their roles, and the media have their roles too. And I'm here to prove it to you that the media has played a positive role in the political dispensation of Nigeria. See, the question is not what is the media. The question is who is the media. And I put it to you that you and I, yes you, we are the media. And it is only if we are negative people that we will say that the media is a negative impact in the political dispensation of Nigeria. When my opponent came the other time, she stated that, because the government, they have their stake in the media. That is why the media is afraid to speak against the media. Sorry to disagree, but I want to prove it to you that because the government have a stake in the media does not mean that we do not speak against the media. That is why we have editorials in the print media. That is why we have investigative journalists like David Hundeyin. That is why we have organizations like the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, like the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism. I will also prove it to you. During the First Republic of Nigeria, when there were only about 5 political parties, among which are the UPN, the NPP, and the FRP, the press played an important role on the activities of the politicians. They probed into their past and they tested the credibility. They tested their credibility before bringing out these individuals to the public through the radio, the television, the newspaper. And what do we have? Let's go to the year 1983, when the press played a major role as a game changer in the political affairs of this nation. The press ferreted out hidden facts about the nefarious activities of our politicians, and we all know the resultant effects. The powers that be, they lost their authority to the army in a coup d'etat. All the elections that we've had from 1999 to 2015, they've had a huge involvement from the media, many thanks to the advent of the technology. In fact, in the last election that we had, the nation witnessed a change because the result of election was being publicized immediately as they broke. Reporters were assigned to beat at the polling centers, and in the studio, there were experts who analyzed the situation. The press also serves as a mirror through which we have a comprehensive view of the activities of the government. The press has made an indelible mark. See, there is no society without the government. Show me another profession that can do what the media is doing. I will wait. There is no other profession. As I round up, I leave you with a quote from Tom Stoppard, a Czech-born British playwright and screenwriter. He said, and I quote, "If it is your aim to change the world, then journalism is a more immediate short-term weapon." Thank you.
If you want to be a changer, then journalism is that avenue to do that quietly. And that is why our social media is there too. But some of us, as we are seated, are using it wrongly. We are using it to do more, to cause more damage than harm. Oh, you are quiet. Yes. But some of us are illiterate of that medium called social media. Now, I also want to welcome, before we go to the fourth person, some of our staff who are also here. Because I wonder if we have an organization and they don't have account section. Is it possible? Okay.
Possible.
You can't walk out.
So we need to appreciate them so that my salary will come the next 2 weeks. So we appreciate the presence of Mrs. Salam, Mrs. Irene. You are all welcome. and our sister from the library, so you're also welcome. You know, tell them now they must come and study and read in the library. I mean, and also the woman in charge of our PENRADIO. That's only online radio we have on this campus, Mrs. Fiscal, human being that's created by our God Almighty. Yes, so I'll call on the fourth person whom is going to come here boldly and say, no, assistant on my feet. That the role media has played is more negative than positive. And who is that person? I'll call on Richard Abunda to come and give justice to
Good evening, distinguished panel of judges, appearing timekeeper, co-debaters, and everyone who is seated right here. Yet I stand before you to tell you about the negative roles the media has played in the political dispensation of our dear country, Nigeria. My panel of judges, I know you will agree with me that the media has a massive wealth of influence on the general public. And as a mass communication guru that you are, you know the media has the capacity and capability of influencing the general public. Also, so please try to get down to the negative aspect in which, because the media knows that they have the power in influencing the general public. And that is why most of these media outlets tend to have biased reports about some political parties and individuals. How do I know this? If you take, for instance, the way the Guardian newspaper writes about the president is different from the way Punch writes about the president. The way National TV Authority reports about the president is different from the way TV Continental reports about the president, operators of Channels Television. And that is to tell you that so many of these news media outlets are biased in terms of reporting, and in times it has a negative effect on the people because they do not have the full information or background on who they are supposed to elect because of the information that has been fed them with. And secondly, let me also tell you that the media also is full of propaganda because of what so many politicians have ownership of these media news outlets. So these media outlets have no choice than what preaching and selling these people to us. So this media outlet come up with articles, news, and stories that tend to preach these individuals to us and try to paint them before our eyes that they are the saints. And who does that? Because you are preaching somebody to me as a saint, and because as a general public, I don't have that direct access to these people to ask them those constructive questions that I need to ask for them to, for me to know if this people is capable enough to lead my nation in terms to lead me in terms of what I want. Because I don't have that liberty, only the media does that. And they are already preaching them to us as a saint. So I have no choice than to make the wrong choice because the media has put that to us. And that is what is affecting our nation right now. And let me also prove to you, if you check the media stories now, there are more of sensational stories than more important stories. My panel of judges, please, I'd like to ask you, the 2023 election is coming around now. I'd like to ask you, please, how many news media outlets is constructively and analytically analyzing the plans, the agenda, and the purpose these aspirants have for our nation? Of course, we will not see many of that. Rather, they focus on tribalism, they focus on their lifestyle, their accents. It's not what they should focus on. You shouldn't do that. You should give us the agendas, the plans, the purpose that they have for us, so that we can dissect and selectively select who is worthy and accountable in representation in our offices. And I also prove to you, as a media guru that you know what is called the agenda setting theory. And the mass media does that very well because they put the prevalence of messages to us, thereby neglecting so many of the important issues that needs to be addressed. Because when the media keep on saying a particular stories, the general public have no idea than always thinking about those particular stories. So in conclusion, what I'm here to say is that the media, so many news media are biased, and they also go into propaganda and try to sell some political parties and aspirants to us, and also there are more of sensational stories. Please, before I go, I'd like to refer to my opponent who said that the media rules forever, even if the president comes to office for 4 years. Of course, yes, when somebody rules forever for many years, I like to tell you, you know what is called law of diminishing return. The person begins to go archaic because of all experiences that person has. He begins to go archaic and take out of all of that. He will not be able to live with time and things that is happening in the present time. So I know with this point of mind, I won't be able to teach to you that the leader in the moment to you that positive in the political dispensation of Nigeria. Thank you.
Montessori school, and also a politician and a multifaceted entrepreneur. See that people who work in Nigeria, not like us that we are white collar job. It's salary. That was what I was talking the other time, that accountant we must appreciate so that you can collect our salary. If I'm an entrepreneur now, I'm not waiting for one accountant. No! So let us go and dig deep into our talent so that also be like our sister. So I want to, in high ecstasy, call on our sister, Mrs. Yetunde Adedayo. You are highly welcome, ma'am. Thank you very much. You know, I've prevented you. As any question, it's very funny. Madam, you want to spend 10 minutes, please spend 30 minutes. So you are highly welcome. So you can have a seat. Thank you very much. Audience, are we together? We must be in a circle, not in the circumference. We have to be within the same ambience. Are we together? Thank you very much. Now, I wonder has come and gone. He has come to demystify the fact that media still play a negative role. But I'm asking them that is go and search very well our constitution. Then it will be a good research and a background for all of them. So now I will call another person who is saying no. I still insist that media is playing a positive role. So I will call on Miriam Kazim to come and justify that. Miriam Kazim, you are highly welcome. You have 5 minutes.
My name is Kazim Miriam Kazim. I would like to cast my mind back to the story of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Chief Obafemi Awolowo was the premier of Western Nigeria. During this time, Awolowo and his member of the Action Group staged a walkout in the parliament where the motion of independence was raised by Anthony Harbour, which thereby led to the downfall of Action Group in the year 1956. During this walkout, the colonial ruler then went online to broadcast and condemn the action of Awolowo and the so-called Action Group. However, in the bid of Awolowo to say his side of the story, he went to the Broadcast Commission but was denied airtime. In the process of this gave birth to the Western Nigerian Broadcast Commission that gave birth to the Western Nigerian Television in the year 1959. You will all agree with me that the media has so many advantages in politics. In the aspect of fair hearing, over time, we can sit in the comfort of our house to hear news. This has been done over time with the span of technologies and our media that we have today. How? For example, the Labour Party president candidate known as Peter Obi has been on a campaign where we can sit at the comfort of our house to listen to every news which has been said. Aside that, we can see the APC, Bola Tinubu, who has been at Chatham House and was interviewed at Chatham House and was able to give out his own role. But in this, we can say that the media, from the media of Nigeria, we can able to see that because the media has a wider reach. If Awolowo wanted to give a story, he would have said it to his few friends. But since he decided to go for the Western Nigerian Broadcast Television in the year 1959, that was the best right of media in Nigeria. Apart from that, we have political awareness. With the help of the media, we are able to have so many awareness on voter education, political campaign, and manifesto of each candidate in their person. With the point of the Nigerian today, the media has so many work and has done so many things. Apart from that, we have wider reach. With the help of politics, we have so many things. You can sit at the comfort of your house and listen to the news. Even without the media, I'm sorry to say, whatever is happening in UK, you will know what happened. Just like how Tinubu went to Chatham House for the interview. Political awareness. With the media, we were able to know different political parties that are aware. And with the media also has enabled lots of political parties like Labour Party, APC, PEP, and the like to be very rare. But now we have social media. Social media came into place for lower emerging candidates like AAC in the next of Omoyele Showre. Because with this, they can use Twitter to speak and reach wider campaigns and plot their own vote. Thank you very much.
You know, in broadcasting, there's what we call peace. You keep it short and simple. It's not about nuances. It's not about too much talk, but it's about saliency and how grasp you have in whatever you want to say. Now, for those who are not here, can also join us on our Instagram, that is PENRADIO, and also NIJ students and NIJ Top Post. And join us on our Instagram, PENRADIO, NIJ students and NIJ Top Post. She has come here. She went to the memory lane, right from the era of the WNTV, that's a Western television that was created by late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, that was 1959. And he also talked about the bodies that have been handling media organization, started from NBS, Nigerian Broadcasting Service, then to Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, and presently Decree 38 of 1992 talk about NBC, National Broadcasting Commission, that was promulgated by Decree 38 of 1992. Then adjusted by Act 55 of 1999. That was what she tried to initiate, and I believe we all had her. Can we appreciate that effort in her? Thank you so much. And also, I'm going to call on someone who said, no, I still insist. Media still perform a negative role, and somebody came here to justify that. So I want to call on Adintamona Ayodele. I will give it to come here in 5 minutes or so, talk on that particular
Good day, panel of judges, my happy timekeeper, my audience, and my fellow gentlemen of the press. My name is Ayodele Adidamola. I'll be talking about the negative role that the media play in the political dispensation. I'll be quoting a quote by Jim Morrison, which says that he who controls the media controls the mind. This leads me to say that the people who controls the media are the one who controls the mind. That is, the media are the one who controls what the public decide. This leads me to say that for a political ambition to be achieved, the media is the vehicle through which any political ambition will either try or die. Let's take for instance, The Nation, TVC. They are subjective in their reports. This means to say that the media is subjective in reporting. The media are subjective in the sense that they are media houses will give reference to a political party than the other. The Nation and TVC will not report negative things about APC. Neither will not report anything about the presidential candidate Tinubu. So also this day and Arise TV, they are in support of PDP. They will never report anything that is against those media houses. So the media are subjective in their reports. Let's say, for instance, there was a post, a report about Peter Obi being attacked in Castina. I think that was 2 days ago. When I was doing my research, I realized that the Nation did not publish that. Other media houses reported it, but I tried researching to see if the Nation actually reported that. But they will report anything negative, even though they report positive things about other political parties. But they choose to report the negativity of other political parties. Reading a report in 2022, there was a report that about 6 notable Nigerians said that Peter Obi cannot win the presidential election. This will lead me to talking about the sensationalism of the media. the media will post sensational stories that will trigger the public to either promote violence or make them choose the wrong candidate. Like my other contestants have said, the media is being used as a vehicle to promote violence, incite violence in their news reporting. I would also like to say that the media is being used to promote propaganda, because looking at the upcoming presidential election, a lot of news have been published by the media saying that the former governor Tinubu is going to do this for us, is going to do that for us. Peter Obi also is also contesting. I'm not saying this when I mention the nation and I mention TVC. I'm not saying that the nation and TVC are not publishing anything about other political parties. I'm just saying that they are being balanced. Their report is not balanced. They are not upholding, or they are not sticking to the ethics of the profession, which is objectivity, balance, and fairness. So the media are playing a lot of negative role in this political dispensation. They are not to be quoting what they ought to. They are being influenced. That's the right word. They are being influenced by people in political offices. Like I said earlier, there is no political ambition that we try without the media. So the media are being influenced by those in political space. Thus, they are making it very difficult for we Nigerians to make right choices. Because at the end of it, because of what the media are putting out for us, in conclusion, I would like to say that call on the media to be objective in their reporting and to stick to the ethics of the profession. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mom. Thank you. But one thing I want to say that is obvious is that other contestants, you have to be very careful mentioning names, media organization and names. It's not the best. No. You have to be very, very careful. That's why I thank God they are all here. They will say more to that so that you have an understanding. That's why I said you have to be in depth of our constitution. Read it very well. All the sections you are mentioning are people. When you go down all those sections, you see a clause there. Even if you are asked to say the truth, if you are true to defame another person's character, you are in a serious problem. Or assassinate the character of that person, you are in a serious problem. And also Bini section 37, Bini section 42, Bini section 22. It's also clear that if you are, if you say what you're supposed not to say and you turn the back of the government to society, sedition, you are also in for. So be careful of names, please. Use example in a matured way by trying to avoid mentioning name attached to each organization. So thank you very much, contestant numbers 6, Adedamola Ayodele. Let's appreciate what they have. Is there another person from the South who has nobody? Okay, you're welcome. So we need to be careful about that. Then the 7th person who is going to come and justify the fact that no, media still play a positive role in our society. We are going to call on Orelua to
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished judges, accurate timekeeper, my colleagues and my co-debaters. My name is Orelua Olatiboye, and I am here to tell us and to support the motion which says the role of the media in the political dispensation of Nigeria. First of all, I would like to share material with the judges. So, the media is a designed passageway. The media is a designed passageway used to disseminate information to the people, to its audience, and from the audience to the government. To be honest, I really feel like we are giving the media was given a really closed space, next space, to perform a huge role. And yet we are still blaming the media for not being able to do their job. It's just like telling us that we can only move over to beggar. And we are expecting the media to go beyond beggar. We're expecting them to go to Oba and to go to Ibadan. The media has never been independent. The media is also controlled by the constitution. The media is also controlled by the institution and constitution, I mean. Now, our lecturer stated it that there are some things you can say. You can't turn the government back to the people. The media has never been biased. The media is not biased. Yes, I can't definitely say that everybody are good. In every department in this world, there are bad eggs. But that does not still discriminate the fact that the media are not playing a positive, in fact, they are playing a huge positive role in political dispensation. Why did I say that? Number one, a lot of people out there don't even know the date they collect they need to register for their PVC. That, as at probably 10 years ago, there are a lot of people that are politically apathetic. But the media has given us, they've reduced the rate of political apathy. What is political apathy? Political apathy can simply be referred to lack of interest in politics, thinking, well, my idea is not needed. Well, even if my vote can't be counted. But the media has made us to understand that each vote can make us have a better Nigeria. The media has given political parties. Please, I believe that every political parties have done their debate ever since last year. The media has given each political parties, a platform to have their debate. And through this debate, we are able to even distinguish what each candidate has for us. The media has given the political party candidates the platform to share their manifestos. They tell us about the recent political events and other happenings. For example, if not for the media, we won't know that a presidential aspirant wants us to teach us how to cultivate cassava berry and other things. There are other political presidential candidates that also want us to that also have plans for us. Now it is left for us. This is why I said we are giving the media a role that they're not even meant to play. It is meant for us as the electorate to discern what we want for ourselves. If you don't know what you want for ourselves, the media can tell you what you want. If the media tells you that a particular candidate is 50 years and you can see it with your face that this person is not even 70, then you have to choose yourself. You don't allow the media to say, okay, yes, the media have said this person is 50. I'm voting. You are the one to choose yourself what you want. The fact is, if you don't know what you want, anybody can sway you to whatever you want to do. You don't blame the media for the role that you as an electorate are meant to perform yourself. The media has never been independent. We are also judged. We are also a watchdog to the constitution. According to my material here, the media passes the information from government to the mass and from the mass to the government. And also, as illustrated in the material, this constitution believes. I mean, we are watchdog of the constitution. We know what is in the constitution and do and act according to the constitution. And according to a Victorian writer, Thomas Stein, he called the press the fourth man of the realm, which means it has acted as a sort of watchdog of the constitution and as such formed a vital part of a democratic government. That is, if there's anything that should be called the fourth arm of government, it should definitely be the media. And I hope with this viewpoint of mine, I'm going to convince you and tell you that the media has played a major and important positive role in the political disposition of Nigeria. Thank you.
Let's appreciate the issue that the media is there. The media is there to interpret, to enlighten, and to ensure surveillance and also perform correlation function. That is what she was trying to express and made her point clear to us. Can we just extend that hands of love to her again for the efforts that she churned out? Okay, going back to the issue. a person who is going to come down here and still take a stand and know the role the media still play in the society is negative, not positive. That's why at times when you see effect is causal approach, both negative and positive. So I'll call on Benita Mapawaku to come over and do justice to that. Finally.
Good morning, my amiable judges, my co-debaters, everyone present in this room, and most importantly, all protocols have been observed. Once again, I'm Mama Benita. I would like to give a rundown or an overview of what the media truly is. Before the emergence of the digital media, we were making use of the traditional media, and we are still making use of the traditional media, which is known as the newspaper, the magazine, the television, and then radio. All of these channels of communication put together primarily is to serve one purpose, which is to provide credible, accurate, and reliable information to the populace. When these privileges are abused by some media outlets, they could end up becoming campaign allies for some political parties by painting some political parties better in the face of other people. Also, the media has been engaging in the report of false information on behalf of the government. They have been engaging in this right from time. I would like to give a practical example. Okay, we've heard of some scenarios or some times whereby we hear about animals swallowing a large or enormous amount of money. Where is that practice in another country? Where? Also, the media has also played a negative role to the political dispensation of Nigeria by not being independent of the news they report. They allow the government or corporate bodies or some other institutions to delve into their affairs. The independence of the judiciary should be guaranteed in a democratic state. The media has also been playing a negative role to the political dispensation of Nigeria by reporting a news on favor or on behalf of another political party. This is not done anywhere. Therefore, I remain on my stand that the independence of the judiciary, of the media rather, should be guaranteed in a democratic state because we are in the dispensation of democracy. Therefore, this should fully be enforced in Nigeria. Thank you.
Yes, let's appreciate that effort from her. He tried to initiate the dysfunction of the media in terms of misinformation, information overload, debasing, and some other factors, just to complement our effort in trying to convince us that the media still play a negative role. Are we together? Hope you are not hungry, because I'm not hearing your voice again. Some of you are looking at me and even scared. So don't worry, they are giving me something that will cool off your adrenaline so that you can enjoy us. Are we together? If you are not together, no something go. Are we together? I'm not hearing you, but you are saying, yeah, you are there. Papa yourself, you are there. Now, we are going on the 9th person so that they are still going there to perform their primary role. Let's appreciate them once again. They are movers and shakers of the organization. They still didn't feel that. They didn't say these little ones. Do you understand? Because they still counted and said, no, we are also important. So can we now show to them that we love them too? Can we appreciate God in their life? Clap for them. Thank you very much, sir. And Mars, we are awesome. Now to the 9th person. Oh. He's not coming to preach. He's coming to convince us that yes, media still take a positive role. It's an apart from praying to prayer. So I'll call on I'll call on Teniola He's going to come here to convince us that yes, media still play a affirmative role.
Good afternoon, everyone. Standing on the existing protocol, as I've right into my business here, name again, Tipo Teniola. So there's no question as to whether or not media plays a crucial role in the development of political development of any state. has been the case in Nigeria. But before I go further, let me quickly summarily give an analogy and address my opposing team here. There's about a record of 41,000 accidents every year on Nigerian roads. Has this stopped us from buying cars and putting our cars on the road? Thank you very much. That's for you all. So I'll go back to my point. So in my view, I should soon agree that the media, it should be a question that whether media plays a positive role or not. It should be a measure of influence of how much the media is doing it. To do this, I'll tell you a little story, and then we'll all come to an agreement by the time I land my story. Let me take you down memory lane. Alhaji Lateef Jakonde was the first executive governor of Lagos State. He started out as a journalist at age 20 in 1949. He established his own platform in 1975, publishing the Lagos News. 4 years after, encouraged by Awolowo, his former boss, he ran for Lagos State governorship and won. As soon as he became the governor, he put together a team of 3 people of his trusted allies. One of them, Alhaji Lateef Teniola, to form Lagos Television, to propagate the many good works of his administration. We are all witnesses to many of those good works that he achieved. So a lot of them are enduring till this day. Incidentally, we are sitting in one of his good works. Can we put our hands together for... So soon, Alhaji Teniola is my father, by the way. May Allah rest his soul. Wondering why I'm telling this story, you will soon find out. Please stay with me. So since communication is at the core of political development, the media can simply be called its backbone. Yeah. Beyond the primary functions of information dissemination, education, and entertainment, the watchdog, gatekeeping, and status conferrer roles of the media has earned it a pride of place in politics and democracy. It is no coincidence that a trend which obtained in pre-independent era has endured till today, whereby top politicians own and run media houses. Examples about, there was Nnamdi Azikiwe, who started out as a journalist. He published the West African Pilot Test, and a couple more. At the time, he had about 12 Nigerian dailies under his belt. And because of this, he had so much political influence. He had so much influence in the public place that it is no surprise that he attained such political height. You know, same with his counterpart, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who also started out as a journalist. He went on to establish Nigerian Tribune, who's today the longest running private newspaper that is still in circulation today. And in more recent times, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, who is a 2-time governor of Ogun State, himself started as a journalist. There is Chief Dr. Uzo Kanu, a 2-time governor as well. He founded the Sun newspaper and is now a sitting senator. There's also Ovation Publisher, a journalist and politician as well. And just like Abiola, we now have Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who today is running for president and also has some business. So this is a trend that obtains everywhere in the world. It's not limited to Nigeria. Why did I tell this story? It is to let us know that it is to let us know that to be successful politically is to have a strong media affiliations. In other words, any regime which is not proactive with its media engagement will soon be unpopular. President Trump and Buhari's administration come to mind. In conclusion, the Nigerian media has played a phenomenal role in enthroning and deepening democracy. We are called the fourth estate okay, well, but I tell us that all is the key in the end. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you want to be known, if you want to be popular, ensure you engage with what? Media. And remember, media cannot survive in a vacuum. Never. That is why we have normative theory. Talking about libertarian, totalitarian, social responsibility theory, social companies, and so on, and just to ensure that the media must embrace the norm of its immediate environment. Let's appreciate, now I said it, that it wasn't coming to pray, but look at the approach, historical approach, trying to tell us a story to navigate its point. Now to the 10th person, who I believe is also someone we should listen to, and she's coming up to also stand and say no. What the other person Tenny has said, no, and still saying that media still perform some negative roles in the society. And I'll call on Amita.
Standing on my comrades' quote, Jim Morrison once said, whoever controls the media controls the mind. To distinguished members of the jury, honorable guests, my moderator, the timekeeper, my fellow students, and all in the audience, I bid you all a hearty good morning. My name is Amita Ekine, and I hereby express my sincere appreciation for your presence today. And I'm going to be talking on the topic, the role of dispensation, the role of Nigeria in the political dispensation.
The media.
The role of the media in the political dispensation
Yes.
of Nigeria.
Don't mind me. All of your places.
I'm hereby standing against the motion and in favor to the opposition that the media has played a negative role in the political dispensation of Nigeria. Well, my opponent said that it's not a matter of who is the leader. It's not a matter of what is the media, but who is the leader. But well, I think it's a matter of what is the media, because you have to know the role that the media plays. So therefore, in mass communication, media are communication outlets that deliver and share information and also data, and have broadcast media, the print media, and also social and digital media. While the term political dispensation refers to the important area in specialized political period that has both demands and also its own expectations, whereby a political leader or a contestant of political parties are elected and therefore brings about the ruling of the country effectively. I would also like to state that the political dispensation of Nigeria is divided into 5 parts. We have the First Republic from 1960 to 1970. We have the military dispensation from 1970 to 1985. We have the Second military dispensation from 1985 to 1985. We also have Second Republic from 1985 to 1999, and the Fourth Republic from 1999 presently to date. During this recent era, throughout decades, media has played its role. But presently, the Fourth Republic, with the aid of digital media is a greater tool and it has more impact. Unlike other areas, there's no military hindrance. So let's believe it is particular for me to say that media has played more of a negative role during this period. I'm sure you're wondering, why am I saying that? Well, these are my points. The media has played a negative role in the aspect of fake information. How? Well, fake news have grown prominently in recent years. Nigerian politicians have made use of the media to spread fake news for propaganda purposes. To spread fake news about their opposing parties, they create fake social media accounts with fake names and spread all sorts of lies, knowing that social media account cannot be traced back to them. And with such accounts, they also make fake claims and fake promises, misleading others into voting for them, and knowing that when they are voted into power, those manifestos they claim cannot be implemented once they are elected. 2, defamation. The media has become a lethal weapon used by political leaders for promoting character assassination, violence, and hate speech, libel, slander, falsehood, and mischief, as well as lies on social media. They are used to destroy the image of the political parties and their experience, and also discrediting their political adversaries in the form of audios and videos. They mock other aspirants and they also discredit them. An example of such, in which media is present with their family, were familiar with the statement that was made by political experiments. Permit me that the audience should please complete this statement for me. NIJ is a town of different from. Thank you. This statement was made by a political aspirant due to one reason or the other, but it has become a cause of mockery and a cause of discussion. and that the media also plays its part in pushing such news statements, being featured into stories, into headlines, and also broadcasted on various social media platforms. This frequently with the aim in mind to tarnish the image of such political aspects, to also mock such political aspects, and they have created caricatures as well as write-ups that have discredited such political aspects and advisory. Lastly, we have agenda setting. It is not fact that the media determines what we think, it also alters what we hear and what we see. It plays a negative role in the political activity in today's society, molding and shaping the public with information that may be biased or partial and also mislead the audience. One example is that of the 2011 post-electoral election. It led to the death of hundreds of people in 12 northern states in Nigeria. The media failed to be discreet in their reports and placed importance on comments made by the losing party, which were inclusive, who kept insisting that the power was go to the north and the election was rigged. This violent process escalated into the deaths of hundreds, and even 12 NYC coppers were killed in that different northern states. This violent process has escalated into a clash of northern Muslims and also Christian Muslims. And in 2015, the same scenario of 2011 played out again. And possibly, in 2020, such scenario will play out again if the media keeps insisting on such negative comments and promoting such false agendas. So to my opponent, we said that the media is not biased. Are these our watchdogs? Are these our friends? Videos with our friends? Where they are not. In conclusion, the media is the greatest tool, but it's also the deadliest. Thank you.
My name is Olawale Oluwatobi from HND2, and I will be speaking on the positive role of the media in the political dispensation of Nigeria. The first thing we need to establish is that the Nigerian political dispensation is democratic. That is the first thing we should know. Having established that, it is important to know that the media, whether the broadcast, the print, or the digital media, are powerful tools of socio-political engineering and have played awesome roles in the political dispensation of this country by enhancing three most vital ingredients of any political democratic dispensation, which are: one, building a society of well-informed citizens; two, participation of the citizens in the day-to-day governance; and three, accountability. How do I know? The media has helped Nigerians to remain informed and updated about various political news and events irrespective of geographical barriers. For instance, you and I are from the comfort of our homes, follow the Ekiti State gubernatorial election, which held on the 18th of June 2022, and the Osun State gubernatorial election, which held on the 16th of July 2022. We are also keeping up with the campaign rallies of various candidates running for offices in the forthcoming general election. It is not an overstatement that some of us are even privy to more information than people who are physically present at these rallies. My opponent came up to say that the media can be used to spread fake news and hate. The politics of bullying and bitterness is not a strange development in Nigerian political sphere. Politicians make use of deceptive gimmicks to discredit one another out of the political race for offices. And this is where certain journalists become complicit by becoming the mouthpiece of these politicians and aiding the proliferations of bad news and faulty facts. I would like to make a rebuttal here by telling her that the problem isn't the media itself, but the journalists who have abandoned ethics and agreed to be compromised. The media, by properly and adequately communicating and informing the masses, have directly enhanced the contributions of Nigerians to the political dispensation of Nigeria. And that leads me to my point of political participation. Nigerians can now participate in the day-to-day governance by making their opinions known on pressing issues and government policy tending to affect the day-to-day life of the masses. Academic research has proven that people who consume more media news have greater possibility of being more politically and civically engaged across varieties of governance measures. Political participation is the natural effect in an era when the public time and attention is directed towards the media, especially the new media platforms like Facebook and Twitter. Just recently, the CBN and the federal government made a fiscal policy that would restrict the daily withdrawal of an individual Nigeria to just 20,000 per day. Nigerians were quick to make their discontent known through various media channels, including the new media platforms, and this policy was accordingly revised to enable individual Nigerians to withdraw 100,000 per an official day. Now, this is political involvement and participation. If not for a working democratic dispensation also said that the media should continue to promote political and social dialogue, ensure public trust and transparency between the political leaders and the people to consolidate democracy and peace. The media has always lived up to their constitutional obligation by being the balance between the government and the people. Aside from that, through the media, pressures have been mounted on the three front runners for the office of the presidency to declare their assets before election. This is what the media has always done, always standing between us and the government, being the conduit between the governors and the government. So, in conclusion, the media has become central to the political arena and have played also roles in the political dispensation of Nigeria by aiding the potential of information to reach everyone, even the most disinterested citizens. Also creating a digital and public square where opinions are publicly and openly shared between people. There have also been the balance between the government and the people and ensuring that all political and digital public administrators are brought to book. These are the vital role of any active dispensation, and these are the roles that the media have always played. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's not a matter of who is not the media, where everybody's laying emphasis on now what is about the media we're talking about. Wonderful people. How do I appreciate this? Gorgeously looking people. And also our guys seated at my right. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much. Now the last but not least, in terms of stature, we look at it and say, wow. So can this actually come from our Nazareth? But thank God Jesus Christ came from there and then liberated the world. And somebody, can I hear hallelujah from somebody? Lord, am I communicating? Thank you. Now I will call on someone who is going to still say that no, and no. The media still perform some dysfunction in our society. So I'll call on Eniola Olaniyan.
Good day, judges. Good day, my moderator. Good day, audience. Good day, my timekeeper. My name is Eniola Olaniyan, and I'm standing against the motion which says the media has played a negative role in the political dispensation of Nigeria. My opponent said that the media is going to rule forever. Okay, are they going to rule forever to tell us the truth? Are they going to rule forever to give us the real information? Quoting Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information and Culture, in 2020, October, he said the media will destroy us. Yes, it will. Why? Because the media cannot come out to tell us freely the real information. They can't come out freely to tell us the truth. But they can allow young lads to use the social media any way they like involving in immoral acts. If you can remember the Christian girl that used the social media to release a sex video, a sex tape, the media are not scared of the fact that I think she used the app lightly, and they should be they do ask for the age for the user. So if the media are not scared for the fact that okay, they can allow a young girl to use it for an immoral act, but they are scared to express themselves freely. They are scared to express themselves freely. Why? Because they can't face the government and tell them that okay, there's a broadcast code that they use. There's a broadcast code that they use, and they should be able to express themselves freely. But no, they then come to allow young lads to use it freely anyhow they like, but they cannot inform us with the right thing. Also, when it comes to election, when it comes to campaign, when it comes to casting of votes, they then come to tell us that okay, this is the right thing and which is not. Why? Because the government at times threatens them to sue them to court and do those things, which is not right. They should be able to tell the government that oh, they have a broadcast making them scared to tell us the right thing. Also, when it comes to corruption, yes, the government already see this as an opportunity to take fines, to make money. When the media comes up to tell us the truth, when they come to tell us, when they come to give us the right information, they tend to threaten the media that they are going to sue them to court, and they use that opportunity to make money from them, which is not right. And I hope with this few points of mine, I've been able to convince you, and not to confuse you, that the media has played a very negative role in the political dispensation of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. You must hear me. Thank you very much, Eniola. Thank you so much. And I want to believe that we've enjoyed them sincerely. For them to come here, stand in front of the camera simultaneously, also stand in front of people seated like this. That's why I said that we are their colleagues. So it's not easy. I'm seeing different types of color of hair. I'm seeing brown, green, blue. I'm even seeing some hair that if I don't look it very well, I want to run away and say, hey, what is this one? But all is about beauty. And sincerely, despite all this, they were here and they spoke their mind out. And I want us to appreciate what they've actually discharged from them. Now, we are not going to come here just like that, sit and look at us. No, we have some prizes we want to give out. Then in 30 seconds, we ask you questions. The staff are not allowed to answer questions. Okay, you have the question staff. I will ask you. So, question number one. I want to know among the students in 30 seconds. We want you to give us the full name of the accountant of these great institutions. Because you'll be going to that account every time. You go and sign. Some of you are educated illiterates. Now, educated illiterates. You said you come to school. You don't allow school to pass through you. And somebody, one of the staff want to turn himself to a student. No. What is the full name of the person that is giving you that? Without that receipt, you can't come into the exam hall. And without, we can't be smiling also like this staff. Or is there anybody aside those who work in the account that can give us the full name of that woman? Yes. The call is sticky. If you are in account section, no. Okay. Can we come? You are in your father's house. They got me. Yes.
This is Titilope. This is Titilayo.
No, there's a full name. We now preach it. When you are mother, you did not get it. You tried small. One of the meaning name, as a full name. You think I did not go to school? I went to school now. How can you say I want it? If she pay half of the tuition fee, you allow her to assign exam. See, mommy. All this mommy in the house. Oh yeah, come over. Come and take our study. Yes, our full name is Titilayo Modupe Momodu. So you can come back. See, it's not small. Company now. Yes, you must take our company. That is somewhere on this campus. If you know it, you raise your hand up and come. You must not look anywhere. If you look anywhere, if I catch you, I will catch the catch. That's the road in front of the place, Wakili Azam. See them. See these people. By the at the road, Wakili Azam. You are sure? know that she did not come to school alone. She allowed me to pass. So, can you come over and pick your small? We are waiting for you. I need to appreciate our organization.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miranda, and thank you very much.
What's the education? Thank you very much, Miranda. It's good to understand English and speak for them. Yes, it's good. So also, because some of you say you love each other one another. So, what is the full name? In fact, no, you will know it. I will not answer that question. Yes. This one goes to anybody also in D2 class. What is the course title from Mark 215? The course title from Mark 215. The course title from Mark 215 and the name of the person taking the course. If you don't know it, in fact, you are asking me, you don't need it.
Mass media society.
You don't know it. No price for her. Answer. What is that? Is that you are? And someone that has been teaching you. You're supposed to cover your face. It's zero. Best. And you know there is no way when you go to school, you have to take number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. But the way I'm going to give out the name, not in particular order, but they all did well. All of them has put in their efforts. Can we appreciate them once again? Now, like the authority confirm me by the judges, I would like to call these 5 names not in the order of performance. Understood? But just to let you know that they all did well. I will call on Oluwaseun Mohammed. Oluwaseun Mohammed, then Abonda Richard. Tobiloba Olawale. Oladipupo Teniola. And then Benisa Mabawaku. Those are the 5 names that are putting the efforts that as the judges have spotted, and they felt that their names should be read out. And it's not done there. We are going to the second round straight away. The 5 of them are going to step out there. The 5 are going to step out there and we see them. They are now going to the real debate. They are going to be given a question on the spot. And as they open it, are you hearing them? As they open it, they are going to be given 120 seconds to look at it. Then they will start to talk for 3 minutes. You can go and have a seat and digest it. Okay. To come, it has 180 seconds. 180 seconds, and he has with him, the government is at the mercy of media corporation. Oladipupo Teniola, the government is at the mercy of media corporation. So we want to know whether he wants to go for or against the motion. Can you start? The government is at the mercy of media corporation. Oladipupo Teniola. Can I give him the floor? Okay, thank you.
180 seconds.
I greet you once again. Luckily, I said earlier that I gave us a brief story to illustrate the connection between politics and journalism, media, if you please. And then I have here the government is at the mercy of media corporations. Simply put, what that means is that if you want to do well as a government, be popular with the media, like I said earlier. And it is the reason why it is a practice the world over that every government of the day has a section of the media which pushes their agenda. No matter how much you do, if the media is against you, you are done for. And I said an example that towards the conclusion of my earlier presentation that it is no wonder that any government that doesn't take proactive measures in its media engagement would soon become unpopular with the electorate. And I made an example of the Trump administration and that of Buhari, in my opinion. The Trump administration became so unpopular that he almost went physical with a number of the members of the press in this is still fresh in our memories. So much so that a section of the new media banned him and kicked him out of their platform, Twitter. And now I heard he wants to sue Twitter. This simply demonstrates to you without any iota of doubt that if you are not good with the media as a government, no matter how much you do, sorry is your case. And it also, deepens the fact, he established the fact, or rather gives credence to the fact that the trend which started pre-independent Nigeria, like I said earlier, where top politicians always have a bunch of their platforms to push their agenda. Just like I said, Alhaji Lateef Jakonde immediately did as soon as he became the governor. He put together Lagos television to be able to, if not, Lateef Jakonde that we all agree is popular today, where we know all his many works, we will not know it. You understand? We may not know it. So I quickly conclude again that the media is the fourth estate of the realm, only in placement. In reality of hierarchy, they are the king of the realm. What they decide you will do is what you will do. What they call you is what you are. Lastly, I have a message for all of you here that have political ambitions. Be popular with the media. I get why.
Yes, to be popular with the media. Because that's what called status conferrer. Media make publicity, they make unknown people to be known, and they try to make sure they make you stay in the ring. Thank you very much. We see we have fantastic heads on this campus. Our lecturers who are happy that they are seeing and listening to their students trying to express themselves. Now I'm going to call on Avonda Richard, who is going to talk about the traditional media has been replaced by social media. Traditional media has been replaced by social media. Avonda Richard is going to do justice to that. The traditional media has been replaced by social media. Avonda Richard is going to come to demystify that sentence to make it clearer and convince us that truly. So, are you going for or against? Okay, he's going to support. He's going to be affirmative with the point. 180 seconds.
Alright, good day, ladies and gentlemen, once again. My name is Avonda Richard, and I'm here to tell you that the traditional media has been replaced by social media. Of course, that is an emphatic yes, that the social media has replaced the traditional media. Let me give you a typical example. For example, we have in terms of population, we have over 7 billion people in the world.
And recently, Facebook announced that there are about almost 6 billion people already in its platform. And other social media platforms also doing the same, giving us those alarming numbers of people in the social media. What are traditional news media? Traditional news media are just like our print, that is newspapers, TV stations, and all of that. If you check now, all of these medias also have social media handles in which they drive in people, in which they try to disseminate their information. And so that is to tell you that in this realm, without social media, you cannot and will never effectively preach to the people your message at all. So that is to tell you that the social media is an essential tool in this present generation. Let me also tell you that the social media is a way that has helped to educate more. For example, those days, how many people really watch televisions now? When there is about news, 10 o'clock, everybody wants to sit down and watch the TV news o'clock. But now, from the comfort of your home, you can sit down on social media and get every access to information that you want to hear. So that is to tell us that the social media is a vital and most important tool in this present generation because it has replaced the traditional media. Let me also tell you, recently, YouTube announced that over 50 billion was given to Nigerian content creators. And what has this done? Because of social media, has created much wealth of influence for Nigerian content creators. So that is to tell you that the traditional news media has lost its place and it doesn't have that revenue in which social media is generating now. I can tell you now, just only me posting myself on social media, telling you some stories, I know how much I can generate in a month, weekly and yearly. And that is to affirm to you that the social media has effectively replace the traditional news media. And that is my point. Thank you very much.
Yes. Well, I'm not here to counter, but just to add to what you have said. Because I know some people here as my friend, they are social media addicted. They like it so much on their phone like this. Like Mrs. Oko always on the phone, checking from Instagram to this and that. Mrs. Banishi, an entrepreneurial guru, always. But we are in the era of multiplicity, so the factual era of convergence, where there is no way social media cannot put radio and TV off the track, but rather they use it very passive, they work in tandem. That's why we're in the era of convergence, we're in the era of interactivity. So that's why the media organization also use social media to convey the same message concurrently. Now, I'll call on the third person, who is Oluwaseun Mohammed. Oluwaseun Mohammed is coming to the European. Oluwaseun Mohammed. Oluwaseun. Press freedom is a myth. Press freedom, it's a myth. Oluwaseun Mohammed wants to come here gorgeously and convince us. Press freedom is a myth. You have 180 seconds.
Good day once again, my memorable panel of judges and to my distinguished audience. So I'm here to talk on the fact that press freedom is a myth, but I'm here to demystify and debunk that myth. First of all, what is a myth? A myth means something that is not true, a fallacy. And I want to ask you, because I believe that we are all media practitioners in this building. Are you not free? Please, are you in bondage? I am not in bondage. I am free. So because we are the media, I am saying that there is something called press freedom. We are free. We are free to practice our profession. In other climes, we may not be free, but in Nigeria, there is freedom. We are the ones that are not exercising it. If it means for me to go to prison in the publication of what I believe is true, I will gladly go. Because I am not only preaching for this generation, I'm also shining the light and blazing the path for another generation. During the June 12 election, we had the radio Kudirat, broadcasting from a cemetery just to be the voice of that election. And we also see other journalists of today, people that we can look up to. Press freedom is not a myth. We have press freedom in Nigeria. As the media, we are the champions of front-burner issues. We are not only reporting these issues, we are also providing solutions to them. embrace the emblem of the media. And I want to urge us to practice our urge without fear or foe, because the sword can never be mightier than the pen. The pen will always be mightier than the sword. Thank you very much.
In fact, you can do a small drama here. Yes, you can enjoy yourself. That's why you are here. Don't forget the duty is. Do you know that if they have not been performing well, these our international staff will have gone? Now that they are seated, you show that they are feeding them correctly. How many of these people are our parties? Yes. Okay, we are the media. We are the lights. We are the mirror. We reflect and affect the society. Yes or no? Yeah. Yes. Now we are going to call on the fourth person. That is Lopa Olawale. Tobiloba is going to talk on the influence and reach of the media. The influence and reach of the media has become far too powerful. Okay, the influence and reach of the media has become far and too powerful. The reach has become far and too powerful. Her name is Tobiloba Olawale. Hold on, Tobiloba Olawale. Can she? Okay, Tobi, 180 seconds. Understood?
Good day, everyone. All protocols to be observed once again. My topic is the influence and the reach of the media has become far too powerful. This statement to me looks like something that the government itself crafted. We have not become far too powerful. We are just starting to become powerful. The government is not comfortable with the roles of the media. They want to control the media. They want to control the masses. They are not comfortable with the roles that we perform in society. Let's talk about the NSAS. The media is the reason people became aware of the brutality of the police and the NSAS in the first place. The media is the reason people could come together to organize a peaceful protest about the NSAS. And the media is the reason everybody, the whole world knows what happened. October 2020 ended in bloodshed. The media is the reason Nigeria is trending around the world for our government problems and the solutions. The government don't want us to reform. They don't want us to participate politically in the governance. They don't want to be held accountable and responsible. The media ensures the stability of democracy where the rights of the citizens are upheld. But the governments are not comfortable with this. They want to influence the reach of the media. They want to hold us back. Like my colleague said that we are not in bondage. But that is their aim. They want to hold us back. They don't want us to fulfill our role. So I'm standing here to say that we are not far too powerful, as a matter of fact. We are just starting to become powerful.
Information is power. Communication is empowerment. If you are not informed, you are deformed. And when they are deformed, there's a problem. Because how can a blind man want to use a torchlight? It's impossible. But it's rather be an one-eyed person, at least you'll be able to see. That's how important it is to be in our society. Can you appreciate this wonderful people? Lastly, we want to listen to that also someone God has beautifully made, Benita Mabaonku. Okay, so Benita is looking at newspaper is dead on dying media form. Or, okay, newspaper is dead or dying media form. Newspaper, is it dead or dying media form? That's what Benita is going to do justice to. And I believe you are ready. You have 180 seconds. Hold on first. Kashi Mohan. Okay, you have the floor. Yeah.
Good afternoon once again. I'm Able Judges, everyone present in this room, and also all protocols are duly observed. So I'll start by saying that the newspaper is actually a dead form, not even a dying form. Because ever since the inception of the digital media, a whole lot of Nigerians have decided to shift course by getting to find or get information from the internet, forgetting that the newspaper is actually the very first form of traditional media, which will provide a reliable information. Because the social media is actually a wide space where anybody can just drop any kind of information, not knowing whether it is a reliable information or it is not reliable. So people, a whole lot of Nigerians, have decided to forget the newspaper that came into being to inform and also give people information. They decided to forget and drop the newspaper and rather go onto the internet and get information. I'll start by saying that the Guardian newspaper came into being in the year 1983, which was actually meant for the elites, the people who can actually read well, the people who can actually understand what is included in the newspaper. So I would say that the newspaper is actually diminishing. I would say that the newspaper is actually going out of being because most people are forgetting it and also shifting course and thereby getting onto the internet and finding information which they feel will be enough for them. Thank you.
Yes, that is the end of the second round. And as our judges are trying to put the house in the order, and you agree with me that they have done a great work. We that we are teaching them, we are proud of them. And some of our mothers seated here too are proud. We thank God that we have children like this, that they've not gone out to destroy our face. Would you imagine? And they made us look good. And I'm proud of all of them. They are the movers and shakers of this place. And I know some of their friends seated here to be happy that they are making them friends. So if you have any gap, if there's any lacuna, please quickly fill it up. Do you understand? We must be together. Okay. Can I ask you one or two questions again? You want our prize? Yeah, Oliver Baptist. You like our prize? Okay, you like our prize? You like our prize? You like our prize? Okay. Okay. Yes, let's look at. Some of you don't even remember the day you received this year. It's a very simple question. What is the full name? I say full name. Don't come and tell me full name. Half full name. That's not our. What's the full name of the president of the SRC? I don't want HND. I don't want HND1 or HND2. I don't want HND1 or HND2. I want ND1 and ND2. See Nigeria. ND1. Come on. Listen. Are you part of SRC?
The SRC president is Nigeria. Everyone be tolerant.
It seems as if this God is staying in the house. I want to stay inside the house and ask the house in the state. Okay, and somebody just come and for him to have known, then they are a good observer. Yes. So we have just add the book, add one is the last book. Happen. This na Tolani's papa now. Some of you are just looking at me. You want to collect price. You want to collect price. Okay. Now, should we look for one more? Or you want them to dance? You want to dance? Mention four names, the full names of the lecturer teaching a particular course in your class. As you're mentioning their name, you are mentioning the course code, the course title of what that. I know all of them by the grace of God. And some of them are here. You mentioned four. The course code, some of you, see, that's how you use the cheat. You are opening your phone. You now allow the school to pass through you. You want to pass through the school. And see now, I know it. Even if I ask our lecturer, they mention full names, 5 names of our staffs, their full names now. Some of them say, me see. So I will not ask them. Are you ready? Yeah, come on. If you miss one, you miss all. HND 4.
Okay, I know Dr. Dele Omotribe, a general writing, man 412. Yeah, man 412. Yes, Then I know Dr. Akiojo. Hey, Mr. Akiojo.
Any mistake like this, just give her one Bible so that let me sleep very well. I'm not the leader. I must be objective. If you miss it like this, one, you say Mr. say doctor.
Okay. We have Dr. Dele Omojupe, editorial writing, man 412. And we have Mr. Oshutoki, Mr. Femi Oshutoki, man 417, which is film production making. And we have man 416, radio news production, Mr. Femi Oshutoki. And we have Mr. Akiojo, child rights reporting. Okay, let's go man 400.
If you like, so our judges is going to read out the question, and then in some few minutes they need to now deliberate.
Okay, this is it's very challenging, I must say. Okay, I'm coming up with a topic, and I know.
Starting.
That's why you must have intelligent judges. They are trying to overrate, do what we call what do you call it in radio production? Brainstorming. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, come and collect me. Come and collect me. Brainstorming.
Yes.
Okay, all right. This is, like I said, this is very, very challenging. And you have less than 5 seconds to answer. Right? Yes. Okay, who answers first? You have led.
Yes, I call on Mohammed. Yes, you are shown first.
Okay. How many political parties are participating in the 2023 general elections?
18.
You see, our energy is one of the best schools in this country, Nigeria. Succeed, reply, 18. Fantastic. Can we appreciate one for you?
Okay, what's the name of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission? 5 seconds over. His name is Professor Mahmoud Yakub.
Mahmoud. Let's appreciate him now. Mahmoud Yakub. Yes. That is why you must always be abreast of what is happening around. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of this section.
Great power. I want to call on Mrs. Abiola Aberamba to share our mind and our understanding on this topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is like a homecoming for me. You know, it's homecoming, I must say. And it's been interesting, very, very interesting. That topic, I would say, is germane and critical at this point in time. We're going to the polls, and to me, for the upcoming journalists, it is essential for us to get it right. Whether we like it or not, I want to believe some of you are even working already in some media outlets. I remember when I was here, we had so many people working then in what they call soft sell magazines, you know. So going forward, this topic has been treated, you know, genuinely treated by the participants. I must commend you all for that boldness that you have. Well done, well done. Now, on the topic, whether we like it or not, journalism has come to stay. One of them said, journalism has gone archaic or something like that. And I asked myself, what does that mean? Journalism can never go archaic, except the practitioner goes archaic. Because you have to update yourself from time to time. From time to time. In fact, I want to believe in all sectors, you must update yourself. So in journalism, you must update yourself and never allow yourself to go archaic. Okay? Now, in this dispensation, media practitioners are critical to governance. The politicians are looking up to us, and we must not let down the guard. In other words, we must not compromise. Of course, we always have the bad eggs. We cannot run away from that. But the basic things, the ethics, must be kept by the practitioners so that integrity, respect. There are some media outlets that you mention and you believe that they are biased, not because of their ownership, but because of the practitioners. One thing I've come to realize is the fact that practitioners themselves censor themselves. There's what we call self-censorship. We do that a lot. Without the interference of the practitioners, I mean the owners. one or two of them talked about ownership, that they influence what goes on air. I can speak for my organization. Yes, the owner may have his bias when it comes to politics, but he has never dictated to us what to take, except you, as the news producer, censor yourself that, okay, this is what I feel this man would like to hear. So going forward, I think as practitioners, it is important for us to look inwards, self-examination that is, look at what you are pushing out as practitioners, as journalists. Is this fair? Is it a balanced reportage? It's objective. Have you heard from all parties? Even if a party is not willing to talk with you, put it there. It will be on record that you made attempts to get to that party. Of course, politicians, you know, I don't want to use the word comedians. We'll see what they are pushing out now. The campaigns are not even issue-based. So it is for us as journalists to throw it out. In education, what are you doing for us? Insecurity, what are your plans for us? But you find out that when you look at the rallies objectively, are they actually addressing the issues that affect you and I? That is where we come in. That is where we come in as journalists to set the agenda and ask questions. Avoid being spokesperson of politicians. I can go on and on, but the time is not there, so that's the little I can offer for now, while I pass on the mic to my colleagues. Thank you so much for giving me this forum.
Thank you so much. Then I want the entrepreneur, Mrs. Yetunde Adetayo, to also share a view about today's topic. Yes, you are.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. First, I want to commend everyone here today. It's not easy standing before a crowd and talking. I really want to please celebrate them, give them a round of applause, please. It's something worthwhile. But I'd like to say this. Actually, she mentioned some of the points that I would have loved to talk about. But I would like to say this. I think one of the things that still keeps us behind as a country, as a people in this part of the world is the fact that we lack access to information. Sitting here today, most of the things that the debaters were talking about were repetitive. I'd expect that they made more points. Now, the world is a global village. Presently, I'm doing a course in an international school, and more on business and globalization. And, you know, one thing I told some of my colleagues, few of us that are attending the same, what's it called from Nigeria, is the fact that I'm going to put Africa on the forefront, because every time they ask us to talk about businesses, to talk about the world stakeholders and the big names in the world, people that are doing businesses, you hear the likes of Elon Musk, you hear the likes of even Steve Jobs in his grave. It's trending, and I'm like, where is Africa on this map? Where is Africa in this space? And each time I'm always like, I want to put Nigeria, out there. I want to put every form of business person in Africa out there. But when you go on to do a research, you discover that there is no enough information about the set of people. So even when you want to do a write-up, you don't have information and you have to reference. You have to do citations and all that. So, so I'd say that coming here today too, it's more like we're saying we don't want something, or we are debating about something, but most of us are still standing here and doing the same thing we're talking about or talking against. Like some of us, we need emotional intelligence. Some of us come here and you can read through in between the line and say, okay, I think this person is for this party. Am I lying? I think this person is in support of this party, political party. It shouldn't be, it's a debate. So you have to be objective yourself. It begins with you, it begins with me. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. It begins with us. So if you're saying the society is this way, then the question is, what position do you take in that space? Do you understand? So I'd like to say that for every one of us, and also being you are journalists, you are the media people, and like one of you said, it's a tool. You know, it's an important tool in the society today. I think we should push out the right information that sells our country positively as well. You know, and also when you have to do things, you don't have to limit it to just your environment, your vicinity. Do you understand? One of the disadvantage that Nigeria has today is because nobody is telling our story in the global world. So when you go online, just Google. You have your phones with you. Just take the topic, business or whatever about Nigeria, and you'll be so shocked that nobody's telling our stories. And no one is telling our stories. Nobody can tell it better except we do it ourselves. You know, America is telling their stories, we are hearing about it. United Kingdom is telling their stories, we are hearing about it. Malaysia, Singapore, all these countries are telling their stories, we are hearing about it. What are we pushing out there to the global world? And once again, I want to appreciate you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's a challenge. It shows us we need to embrace, before our editor, we need to embrace developmental journalism. We need to find a way to write developmental stories so that we can push our country further. But before news editor from the Gospel Television Talk, I want also the sport editor of Red Power, Oluwashiwidu, to also express himself on this topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I will appreciate the debaters. You have done excellently well. Because there's one thing about journalism today. I question myself when I see some of students that comes to different organizations, most especially my organization for IT. I ask myself, is there still, or will there still be journalists? Or will there still be journalism in the big company job? Because one thing is, if we are looking at the fact that, I will pick my point from, somebody talks about the fact that, like Mohammed, in 2020, what happened that like Mohammed has said is that social media has come to damage us more than the goods that we expect from it. That's what it's talking about. It's not talking about the mainstream. It's not talking about the mainstream media, social media, and that's why you saw the ban of Twitter and so-called there. But the issue is, somebody said, we are the media. Let me tell you, whether you like it or not, the church is a building. The worshiper is the church. So whatever you do, one thing I will say is that Omo redeem no lawyer. Whatever you do, Kinara no lawyer. So whatever we do, you represent the media. We are the media. So even if you wanted to do it, we need to reform ourselves. We need to be reformed ourselves. So that by the time we are reformed, politicians cannot replace. Like somebody said, I am not a slave. Yes, we are not a slave to any politician. But you can as well be a slave to every politician if you don't think about the ethics of your job, the ethics of profession, what your profession stand for. If you don't know what you stand for in the media industry, then you can be a slave to that politician. And that is why we need to uphold that ethic of journalism. If we can stand on that ethic of journalism, tell me, the only country in Africa that you can even enjoy media, the freedom of media, is Nigeria. Go and quote me anywhere. Go and check. The fact that we don't use more. What do we use our Twitter for? What do we use our Instagram for? And I will tell you, don't blame the mainstream on the fact that the media are not playing a positive role on governance in Nigeria. But let me tell you, blame yourself, because when the media is even reporting about your own self, let me say, somebody like you have your favorites. In even this election coming 2023, even when the media are reporting about the individual candidate, but because we have our favorite candidate as an individual, are we seeing it the way the media are reporting it? Then you thank the media bias. because we have a favorite candidate. And that is why we need also to reform ourselves, to be a good thinker, even as a consumer of that news. Do you make a research work to see that this thing that is coming out before going out? And like my editor will usually tell me, if you want to do anything, if I place anything on the table, my editor in the mainstream, don't think that thing is going on air immediately, because there is a gatekeeper to tell you that what you are putting there is right or not. So please, the thing I will say is, let us be reformed. If we are reformed, we are the media, we are the gatekeeper, we are the owners, we own the media industry. So the way we take it is the way the world will take it for us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's why I said, because I'll now allow Mr. Mololu Rusanwo to give his own take. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. I'd like to first start by commending the contestants. They have really done a very, very, very good job. You know what you guys have done today is bringing and has brought out the innate talents that you have. These things can further be developed if you stay on it, you stick to it. I'm saying this because I need to also encourage you, because I have started this way. It is very, very important. If you say you're a student of mass communication, then you must be ready to brace all odds, no matter what. I'll give you a quick example. Day before yesterday, I was with the president at Imota. The man did not get there until 5:30. I had to stream live. I had a stream box on me. She would understand what I mean when I say stream box, and he would understand. I had a cameraman beside me. Now, I had to be struggling with the president's security guys, because normally, I'm telling you this so that you too can also understand. You will get there, because when the president comes to any state, he will take over everything there. All security and everything they take over. So they leave the state security, they will just back out. You understand? So there was a situation that I got wind of, that he would not come directly to the hall in Imota, that he would be going directly to the commission. What did I do? I called my cameraman with the stream box. I found my way to that commissioning point. The stream box was on. 10 minutes after, the man arrived with the governor, and we started streaming. I don't know if anybody would listen to some of the things if you listen to LTV day before yesterday. I don't know, I'm not sure. It was hectic. We had to be finding our way through. I had to be running those commentary based on those things, because the public needed to know what was happening. If I kept it to myself, they would not understand why we had shaky shots, why we had to be moving here and there, but I had to say it in commentary so that people will understand. So it is very important that your ethics, your professionalism must be kept intact. There are influences and they will always come, but there are ways you can overcome them once you do not rely so much on those that would want to buy you away. Now, let me quickly come to some of the things that I've noticed while the debate was on. Some of them kept referring to informations. There's nothing like informations. Please note it. Please note it. It is very important. Information is information. There's nothing, the S is not there. You have to note it. It is very, very important. Now, somebody posed a question and said, the journalists are not doing enough. I beg to disagree. If you listen to the international community, they give kudos to journalists in Nigeria. because they say those facts as they are. They don't hide those things. I'm not saying there are not influences, there are not people that would want to collect money to suppress stories. But the moment information is out there, it is your responsibility to fact check. If you cannot fact check, then you're not sure of the source of the information. If certain things happen here now, I want to use this as an example. If anything happens here, what do you think the first thing that the reporter should do? We won't have crisis by the grace of God here, and we'll never have it here. But if, like there are situations happening here now, if a reporter wants to write a story on this, which angle will the reporter pick? Which angle? Can anybody else try? Because we're indirectly lecturing you. We want you to know some of those things. So if you're doing your story, how will you cast your lead? Or the head on this particular event? Yes. Your headline, then your lead. What will you do? That you probably need to put in. You may not be necessarily having the 5 W's and H in between. So who can try?
I'm going to feel. I'll start my point right from one of the judges, like Ms. Abiola. Because of the prominence, the debaters are not prominent now. So I will start my lead with Mrs. Abiola because of the prominence in the media. Abiola advises debaters of Nigeria Institute of Journalism. That would be casting.
You have tried. Who else can try?
So I'll take it from India, and because of the importance of the particular point in time in Nigeria, I will take it from the angle of promoting democracy. So just like him, I will take any of the judges, I will not mention anybody's name now, as having advised upcoming journalists on the need to take their roles seriously towards building democracy in Nigeria.
That's also good. Let's appreciate him. One more.
Okay. Why is he the same sex? Why not say a feminine gender?
Okay, I'll also go into that similar direction. But what I also think is because of the prominence of the school, because it's an institution, so the institution will also be mentioned in accordance, like stating the prominence and the judges also, that it's also time the judges was in the Nigerian Institute of Journalism and sort of things happen.
Okay. Okay, you have all tried. Let's appreciate them. Why I have asked those questions is because I needed to bring the news in you. Whenever an event happens, the first thing the media practitioner or the journalist thinks of is what will make news, what will arouse the interest of the reader or the listener. That is very important. And we also know what we call the pyramidal form, right, of news writing. We know the other one, non-pyramidal form. So which one do you think is best? Inverted pyramidal form is the best ways of writing news, because you take the most important ones to the less important ones. Because if you want to get my interest, whatever you sell to me or you send to me will attract my attention. If it doesn't attract my attention, I'll drop it. But if you can keep my attention, then that means you're making me read your story. You're making me go down. Oh, okay, I want to go another paragraph until I finish reading everything. So I'm trying to bring that out to say that whatever we're doing here, importance of news writing is key. You're going into the world. You have started here. Yes, your lecturers are taking you up. I know I go through a whole lot when they send people to my office. They come to me. You'll have to go through their script. That's all. You find appalling that did this person actually go through any school at all? You know, so did this person go through his writing skills at all? So you tend to wonder if those persons really went through anything. But what I'm trying to say is this: no news story is not right. All news stories are important. The way you bring them or you write them will determine how newsworthy they are or will be. It is very, very important. I just want us to know that it is what we are learning and we must continue to learn. It's very, very important. Then somebody said, journalists they get influenced, they don't see it. You know, let me put a picture before you. If any NTA reporter comes here, the NTA reporter will be looking at it from a different angle. AIT reporter comes here from a different angle. LTV comes here from a different. So everybody will take that story from different angles and to still make sense. You understand? So those are things I know you have been taught and you will continue to learn about those things. One thing I want to state there that I noted is here. Media is the greatest source of news and the deadliest. That statement is powerful. One of them said it. That tells you that the media can make you or what? Yes. So you must be careful the things you do. You want to rise, media will make you rise. You want to fall, media will help you to fall. So those are the basic things that I think I should just note out. I just want to appreciate everybody and I thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. You see now, down and down, it's always good to harness that effort together. And I want to believe once again, we've heard it, that if you are exposed to the same story due to the different outsiders, now that doesn't mean that the way LTV reported it is better than the way it is. And selectivity theory has actually confirmed that exposure determines and your exposure determines your attention, and your attention determines your retention, and your retention determines your recall. That's the essence of that theory. So before, now I'm going to call on the SRC president in person. She's standing very close to me. I'm wondering what is the matter. Because as I was dressing, she's also coming very close. Why? What is the matter? So let me just give her the room to express herself. I know she's highly elated. Yes or no?
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, judges. I appreciate the judges, especially. Start from Mr. Oloyu. I thank you very much, sir. You've not met me, but we called on you and you answered. We're really grateful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Mrs. Adedayo. I know her very well. I know her very well. I'm grateful. Thank you very much. Thank you for honoring us. We didn't give you anything, but we called you, answered. Your boy is to say, Egun Lala Finke Igbale. Mrs. Abiola Aberagba. Thank you, ma. Thank you very, very much. I did my stewardess in Ray Power, and she was a mother. She was a mother. Since then, I've not seen her, but we called on her and she answered. Please give them a round of applause. I'm not forgetting Mr. Idowu, the sports editor, my party of life before. We are grateful. We are grateful. We are grateful to our lecturers for honoring our invitation. The students, In fact, SRC, I have a team. I need to appreciate them. My team, stand up. As in this team, they are the best I could ever ask for. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. This debate, first of its kind. Are you not proud of yourselves? We are bringing energy to the world. So let me just tell you, our third runner-up, third position, with a Samsung Galaxy smartphone. Second position, Samsung Galaxy Tab. The first position, laptop. 1 terabyte storage capacity. So let me give it back to Mr. Femi to
yes.
To grab the door.
You understand? One thing she said, and I want us to learn from.
Please, wait. Please. I want to appreciate Mr. Femi. Please, stand up. Sir. Let's settle down. And I'm grateful to our major sponsors, sponsors, 7 up, give them a round of applause. 7 up, and our beautiful ladies that are here. Yes, sir. We appreciate you so much. Thank you very much. So let's go to the.
You cannot say something that I want us to learn from. I think we are used to that out of this world, and it's not too good. But thank God that they are our mothers here. Let's learn to build relationship. Don't let us always wait that until we need someone's help. That's when we need. At times, you can just say hi on the phone, and mommy, hope you are fine. So anytime you now need something, what will mommy do? Mom will just stand up like this, not stand up with your daddy. Daddy will run around, mommy. Yes, let. Because don't let us, and I'm happy she accepted her because she knows that she's a nice lady. Okay, now let's go to the intake. We'll start from the 5th position. We have to appreciate, and the person must take the handshake of our indelible people. The 5th position go to Aponda Richard. Let's appreciate him. Sorry, sir. You need to and take a picture, please. He has tried putting his best. Our auntie, our mommy, ever there. So, and our father, you have to. So, thank you. God bless you. Take us together. What is Sony? Before the song goes to Teniola or Dipupo, the 4th position, that's Apa of the 21st century. Easy. Now, I want to call Mrs. one of the judges, Mrs. Yesterday Adeda. Please come up. So come and present the prize of the top position. And the top position goes to Benita. Benita. I'll call on Mr. Amadou Sonu to present a gift to second position is Toby. Our judges, God bless you, bountifully. Really appreciate what God has made it to do for us today. Thank you so much. Thank you. Can we be on our feet, please? Can we sit down, tell our judges to leave? Hold on.
All right, being the president of the Student Representative Council, how do you feel witnessing this today or spearheading the organization of this today? How do you feel?
I feel happy. I feel fulfilled because, in fact, I had this dream since when we were in HND1, and I said that I wanted to do something different. We're journalists, and we need to start preparing for what is ahead of us. And debate is one of it. If you need to be able to put your thoughts together, to be able to talk, to be able to face the crowd, because there's no how. Even if you're working with the print media, you're working with broadcast media, you have to go for interviews. And how would you face, or how would you talk to people that you want to interview if you cannot even face people that you are in the same school together? So I just thought that, okay, instead of the usual party, freshers party, student week activities, let's just do something different, something educational, and that's what's brought about this debate, and I'm so happy, very happy.
All right, thank you so much for that. Now, if I would like to ask you also, what are the things that the students should look forward to even before this administration closes, draws the curtain?
I don't know. The thing is, one thing I can say for sure is that they should expect a difference, something different from the usual that they've been witnessing. I don't want to start letting the cat out of the bag, like, okay, we'll do this, we'll do that, but you've seen what we've been doing so far, from the freshers party to the Caro to this debate, so you should know that you should expect something huge from us next.
All right, very lastly, so what brought about this topic? The role of the media in this political dispensation, what exactly inspired this topic?
Okay, I just felt like, yes, as journalists, yes, we're in the media, be it broadcast, print, or any form of media, we are the media ourselves. So, like, I feel like we should know that what role, like, what do we want to know, whether the media actually plays a good role or they play a bad role. If they play a good role, how can they do better? And if they play a bad role, how can they actually switch from playing the bad role to playing the good role. That's what brought about this topic. That, okay, how can the media, how can they contribute to what is happening at the moment? As we know that, okay, there'll be election coming up. What can the media do to make it peaceful? What can they do to make it better? So that was what brought about this topic.
Honestly, I feel so elated. I feel so excited because actually I wasn't even expecting to even have been nominated or even fall under the last people who will be going on for the second round. I'm so elated. I'm so amazed. I'm so happy.
So what did it take you to prepare for this debate, considering the fact that you have to still read for your exams, you have to plan some other things? What did it take you, especially?
Well, it took most of my time actually, because I had to plan well. Because if I don't plan well, I know that though I was just relying on God, I had to rely on God. I had to cast all my cares upon Him, because it just won't all my efforts, if I don't put it upon God, if I don't pray, they'll just be in vain. So basically, I won't lie to you, I had some sleepless nights, but I still thank God. I still emerged as one of the winners of this loyal and humble event.
Okay, so what do we expect from Magba Benita in the coming years as journalists?
Well, I would say you should expect the best from me. The best.
I am so happy, I'm elated, I'm ecstatic. In fact, I am so joyful because I worked hard for this and I prayed hard for this and God granted me my heart desire. I just want to say all the glory belongs to God because it's not me, it was God. God came through for me. And I'm super happy. I'm super grateful to the Student Representative Council for putting this together. I'm super grateful for the Nigerian Institute of Journalism for giving us this platform to showcase our skills. And I'm super grateful to all our judges that came, the students, everybody. It was a fun-filled moment for me. I am super happy.
All right, thank you for that. So when the topic came to you, the role of the media in the political dispensation in Nigeria, what first came to your mind?
Actually, when I was told that was because I was the last person to be added to the debate group, I didn't want to do this at all. Let me say it out here. I didn't want to do it because I didn't believe I could do it. Yeah, so when I was added, I was given the topic. I was like, oh my God, what is this? In fact, I was blank for a while. I didn't know. You know when you see some difficult courses that you want to read and you just close your book and go back to sleep. Like, I don't want to do this. But then I had to do it. I picked it up. I was told that I would be supporting the motion. So I began to search within me. Because if you listen to most of my points, I talked about the human angle of the subject. I placed myself in the position of the media. I told myself, Oluwaseun, I am the media. Have you been playing a positive role in the political dispensation of Nigeria? And that guided my research.
So what more do we expect from Oluwaseun Mohammed, especially being a broadcast journalist? Is there anything special that we are expecting in the coming years?
Yes, expect a whole lot from me because by God's grace, this is just the starting point. Expect a whole lot from me. Expect to see me in the mainstream media, in your television stations, in your radio stations. Expect to see God in me because with God, we are changing the world and we are changing the narrative of the media in Nigeria.
I am happy, to say the least. I am excited. I am thankful to God for crowning my efforts because we can make efforts, but it's God who gives the increase. So I am very grateful to God for crowning my efforts and for making me one of the winners. I'm truly, truly grateful to God for this opportunity and for the sponsors of this event. It's such a privilege and an honor to win this. I'm very elated. I'm very, very grateful to God.
Thank you for that. When the question came to you, the role of the media in the political dispensation in Nigeria, in today's dispensation, how do you feel? What first came to your mind when the topic came at your table?
When the topic came, the first thing that came to my mind was, God, let it be to support media. Because I know that the roles of media in the political dispensation of Nigerians cannot even be expressed in 5 minutes that we were given for the debate. So my prayer was just, God, let it be that I'm in the support gang so that I can tell the world how awesome Nigerian media has been.
All right, considering the election that is coming by February 25th, which is of course about a month to this time.
Okay.
In this age, you'll be seeing loads of loads of fake news, propagandas, and the likes. What would you like to say or to correct that, especially in this election that is coming?
if you follow through with the debate, one of my points is that truly they say the media, spread fake news and hate and information, but the problem is not the media itself, it's the journalists who have abandoned their ethics. Do you understand? Who have agreed to be compromised. It is the journalists that we should admonish to, not forget their ethics. They should keep truth to their profession. It's a profession of truth. After pastors, the media personnel are the next to uphold truth in the world, in the country. So it is about the journalists. It is the journalists that should be taught more about keeping up with their ethics and not agree to be compromised.
Okay, as a winner today, what more do we expect from you in the coming years as a journalist?
Well, the sky is the starting point. Like one of the speakers said, he said, this thing we have done today is an avenue to show us what is in us. So today has proven to me again that I can speak, and if I can build on that, the sky is just the starting point for me.